Good afternoon, traders. It is Wednesday, July 10th, 2019, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Interesting day with the Dow. Insane, but interesting. The Dow opened way up. I mean, the first 30 minutes or so, it just screamed topside. And interesting enough, this very top up here, you got two 15-minute bars with the tops are those are all-time record intraday highs for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, as has been happening recently, just inevitably when the stocks get this high, the sellers, profit takers, short sellers, all this jump in and they drive it down. That's very frustrating for us, but we just going to have to live with it. These guys are going to get killed here one of these days, and we're going to make a lot of money when that happens. But it happened this morning, drove it way down, never went negative, but then came back and then pulled back some toward the end of the day. But even with all that, the Dow still officially ended up closing up 77 points. So on balance, it's a pretty good day for the Dow. And my prediction yesterday that this thing, given this big spike we had at the end of yesterday, that the Dow was clearly going to go higher today. That prediction turned out to be quite correct. As far as us, we had fairly negative numbers on the close yesterday, and those numbers did get better. They didn't get as good as I would have liked, but we closed out only with negative $77 on the positions we had yesterday. Was actually pretty good, and we did get into 9 new positions today, and with this pattern we could have gotten chewed up pretty bad. It did not happen. We are actually holding $6,700 positive in our open trade going into tomorrow. We had 9 positions, 6 positive and 3 negative, if I didn't mention that. Anyway, I had some good trades. Let me show you 3 of them. This first one is JNUG, JNUG, which is the gold mining bull. And yesterday we had bought this with about 3 hours to go. It closed slightly favorably on the close yesterday. Big gap up this morning, and of course they come in and they sell that right away. So that pulled it down some for our exit. But we still took $2,800 out of JNUG. Then the thing starts climbing again, and we get re-entered on it. That's so frustrating when that happens. But we got re-entered on it, and we have another $1,100 on the close, and it looks like it closed right on its high there. So it's a good position. So, combine that, we have almost $4,000 in JNUG. So that looks real good. Another position we had that was good, this is long crude oil. Did this huge gap up. This is UWT, long crude. And it big gap up this morning. We buy those gaps. Boy, that's buying the thing in the sky, but we hung on, and it did keep going there. And we have $2,400 positive open trade in long crude. And then finally, this is BRZU, which is the Brazilian stock market. And we had bought this yesterday on the spike. Closed pretty much break even yesterday. Big gap up this morning. It got quite a bit higher by 2/3 into the day and then pulled back some. But even with the pullback, we have $3,000 in open trade in Brazil. So that looks real good. And interestingly enough, JNUG and UWT in Brazil, none of those stock positions are really tied to the Dow, which is kind of good right now because the Dow, even though it made intraday all-time highs today, it's acting pretty crazy. And these positions that we have look much better. Anyway, that's the way it went. Trey Bob signing off. Be back here tomorrow on Thursday.